Where am I? Is this Fixtrol Garden? But it looks different somehow. I should keep moving. It seems like the paths here are being twisted by some sort of illusion. I need to look closely around this place again. Maybe I can break out of the cycle. It seems like the paths here are being twisted by some sort of illusion. I need to look closely around this place again. Maybe I can break out of the cycle. Wasn't I just here a moment ago? I need to look closely around this place again. Maybe I can break out of the cycle.
Your life unfolds from this point on, full of unique experiences and adventure. What happened prior is meaningless to you. The value of your life does not lie in what happened in the past, but in the present and the future. The eagle returns from an unsuccessful hunt. The sailor avoids the course they know to be dangerous. And you, my child, should come to learn that the past is just an illusion. But your experiences now will be remembered forever. It is time to say goodbye. Here, a parting gift for you. I look forward to our next encounter.
Wait! Hold on! Miss Fu Xuan, why did the simulation just cut off like that? I'm fine. Just a little lightheaded is all. And the Matrix of Prescience stopped at precisely the same moment. March, I lost sight of you once you touched that block of ice. What happened? It's kinda hard to explain. So, that mysterious girl was really a messenger of the Glowswather? Glowswather? You mean Fu Li, the Remembrance? Are they the Aeon connected to my past? No, it's too early to draw such a conclusion. All I can say is that it was very likely an Aeon that sealed away your memories. But not necessarily Fu Li. When the messenger spoke of protection, perhaps she meant the following. By sealing away your memories, the Glowswather wasn't attempting to harm you, but to shield you from the memories themselves. It's not so bad. At least I know it has to do with the Garden of Recollection, right? It seems like retrieving memories is beyond the operational spectrum of the Matrix of Prescience Ultima. That's all right. You've helped me so much already, Master Diviner. I owe you a big one. If you'll excuse me, I must organize an inspection of the Matrix. Fingers crossed there's no damage done. We'll leave you to it then. Run. If we broke something, there'll be a huge bill to pay. Run. If we broke something, there'll be a huge bill to pay.
All this time away from the Luofu, the seat of divine foresight has only become more hostile. It's quite reassuring. Relax. You needn't be so cautious, young man. I'm just reminiscing about the old days. However, I never thought Jing Yuan would send you to accompany me. It would seem our fates are intertwined.
Huh? I've got my work cut out for me today. Well, if it isn't Don Hung.
Greetings. I need to speak to the General about something.
Looking for compensation for the injuries I gave you? I accept full responsibility. They can deduct my next 100-year salary if they like.
That won't be necessary. The Cloud Knights were doing their duty. I should be apologizing for any damage I caused myself.
You came at a bad time. The General is busy with urgent work. You probably won't be able to meet with him today. But he did leave a message. Don Hung. Do you recognize the person on the steps?
I can't say that I know her, but she does look a little familiar. Is she a guest of the General's?
You don't remember her? I see. I suppose the memories of your previous life really were wiped clean after the rebirth. That is Jing Liu, the previous sword champion of the Xianzhou Luofu. She was the closest friend of Imbibitor Lune, your previous incarnation. She was also the General's master. According to records of wars past, her blade has slain countless denizens of abundance. Not even the feather guards of the Wingweaver, the father wolf of the Borazon, or the gigantic mecha beast could withstand a single strike from her. She's a renowned legend. However, those are ancient stories. It's a shame that even a hero like her wasn't able to break free of Mara. It is said that in the end, Jing Liu lost her sanity and slaughtered anyone in sight. She was deemed a criminal and fled to outer worlds. With her powers, you'd think there would be no one capable of bringing her in. For some reason, she arrived on the Luofu with a suspect disguised as a traveling merchant and said she wanted to turn herself in. Her surrender came with one condition: that she be allowed a day of freedom before the trial. She wanted to travel to Scale Gorge Waterscape and meet with her old friends one last time. I can't believe Jing Yuan actually agreed. Before he left, he ordered us to accompany Jing Liu during her last day on the Luofu. We're hosting an honored guest. We're escorting a criminal.
Imbibitor Lune, you're here. Since you traveled all this way, why don't you come and talk with me? Or should I call you by your name in this lifetime? Don Hung. the Cienjo, I heard they took away your scales and horns, forced you into a hatching rebirth, and detained you in the Shackling prison. I thought Imbibitor Lunae had been wiped from this world, but then I returned to the Luofu and watched as you parted the sea. After all these years, it was a magnificent sight to behold.
I recognize you, but I can't remember anything. The memories of my past life are like shattered glass. I can't piece together the reality from the individual shards.
I can't remember the words of every person who hopes to escape their past. The Vidyadhara rebirth normally erases all memory of the previous life. However, you have retained fragments of your past, as well as the powers of the High Elder. If my guess is correct, the Preceptors were unwilling to allow the Ichor line to end, and hoped for the Imbibitor Lunae's resurrection. That is why they tampered with the Moltene rebirth, and turned you into what you are now.
You're not here to reminisce on old times. Tell me why you're here.
You didn't hear? That Vidyadhara girl explained it clear as day. I returned to the Luofu so I could surrender myself to the Alliance and atone for my sins. I did, however, have one request before the trial. I asked to be given a single day to go and see old friends, and to fulfill promises I made long ago. Jingyuan has always been an understanding person. He heard that you would be coming and agreed to my request.
So, you're the one that mailed the letter to the Express.
That's right.
The sea's depths conceal no stone, and dragons' breaths reveal the moon. The scenery of Scale Gorge waterscape is truly as magnificent as the poems describe. But as a suspect, shouldn't I be bound and interrogated in the Shackling prison? Is it really appropriate to bring me to a place like this, General?
Holding you in the Shackling prison would be more trouble than it's worth. For security purposes, we will be performing your trial here.
For security purposes? I suppose it's not my security you're talking about.
The Stellaron's descent, the Ambrosial Arbor's resurrection, the Destruction Emanator's impersonation of the Amicasitor. According to the Skyfaring Commission's investigations, you arrived on the Luofu with a group of merchants, but didn't make a single trade during your stay. Your departure coincided with the day the calamities took place. You took advantage of the chaos to sneak into the Shackling prison, but seemingly took no course of action. Now you claim that you are responsible for the Stellaron crisis and wish to surrender yourself. Your behavior truly is puzzling. I can't seem to piece together your motive.
I was asked to deliver a token in my capacity as a traveling merchant. I knew nothing of its significance. I admit I did have my own agenda for entering the Shackling prison, but in the end, I found that the Luofu did not possess what I was looking for. It is through fear of punishment that I am choosing to surrender. The galaxy is a vast place, but I am merely a wanderer. It would be silly of me to think that I could outrun the Alliance.
Merely a wanderer. You're too modest, Locha. Do I need to remind you of your actions at the Eternity Fortress and the Shroudvale Star Zone? Or must I utter that tongue twister of a name?
Well, they don't call you the Divine Foresight for nothing, General.
You flatter me. Fortunately, I did my research, or this conversation would have been quite dry.
Seeing that you sense something is amiss, are you looking to defend me and clear my name of suspicion?
That is beyond my control. Attempting to undermine the Alliance is a grave crime. According to protocol, you are to be held on the Xianzhou Shuling for a joint trial before the Ten Lords Commission and the Seven Arbiter Generals. However, at present, you have the opportunity to enjoy the beautiful scenery of Scale Gorge Waterscape. It will be the last view of the Luofu you ever lay eyes on.
She told me that the High Cloud Quintet once gathered and feasted here hundreds of years ago. The unparalleled sword techniques of your master, the mesmerizing cloud hymn magic of Imbibitor Lunae Dan Feng, the artful piloting skills of Bai Heng, the divine weapons crafted by the Juming artisan Ying Xing, and the unmatched stratagem of the General. The five of you vanquished evil from the world, creating legendary tales in your wake. Unfortunately, nothing lasts forever, and the High Cloud Quintet disbanded as each of you went your separate ways. You removed me from the shackling prison and decided to interrogate me here. But not for security purposes. You wish to discuss things that shouldn't be overheard. You wish to discuss the one person you've avoided mentioning up to now. Your master, Jing Liu.
We can head out now. I would like to visit a few places from my memories, enjoy a glass of wine, and reminisce about the good times.
Have you mistaken yourself for a tourist?
I would make a wonderful tourist. Lower your guard, young man. I have already surrendered myself to the Alliance, and I will keep my word. Besides, your general has already agreed to my request. Imbibitor Lunae, you must accompany me. I won't take no for an answer, regardless of whether you're still interested in your previous life. Accepting my letter means that you've accepted my invitation.
Lead the way.
Where should we start? Should we go to Stargazer Navalia first, or to the Artisanship Commission? So many memories are swirling inside my head. I can't get a grasp on any of them. When the people of the Xianzhou live to be more than 1,000 years old, each day is like carrying the weight of a mountain through an interminable maze.
How hard is it to choose a destination? We're going to Stargazer Navalia. Problem solved.
The young are the antidote. Stargazer Navalia it is.
If it's star skiffs you wanted to see, we could have headed to the Jade Gate. Why did we come all the way here?
Young man, have you ever heard of Bai Hung, the Foxian pilot?
Bai Hung. I think I've seen that name somewhere before.
Let the noble High Elder drown the enemies in rain. We just need a watch from the sky, I presume?
Imbibitor Lunae, if memories are returning to you, share them.
I think she was one of Imbibitor Lunae's comrades.
She was a comrade and friend to both Imbibitor Lunae and all of us. Well, that's all in the past now. The reason we came to Stargazer Navalia is because I wanted to pay tribute to her here.
Huh? You mean the Foxian soul-soothing ceremony?
Yes, the sending off of a star skiff. It represents the voyage of the deceased into the stars. Due to circumstances beyond my control, I never had the chance to bid farewell to her. It is something I have regretted to this day. As for procuring a star skiff, I know they can be manufactured here, but I know nothing of the process.
I see. Follow me. I don't know anything about manufacturing star skiffs either. But getting these machines to work shouldn't be too hard.
Take this man away. This does not involve him.
Yanqing.
And so, everyone is present. I never thought the High Cloud Quintet would be able to gather again in the same place after hundreds of years. If I remember correctly, the 5 of us made a promise here 7 centuries ago. We promised that no matter what happened, we would gather here together and share a drink. How sad that Scale Gorge waterscape remains empty while the world continues to turn. Some of us have been reborn, while others were denied death. Some have become criminals, while others can no longer fulfill their promises. And in the end, our friendship is no more. Soon, I will be shackled and tried. This will be the last you see of me. This is why I sent out the invitations before departing, hoping that everyone would be gathered here for my final farewell. Of 5 people, 3 must pay a price. Imbibitor Lunae, the chief culprit, chose to use the Transmutation Arcanum as a means of resurrection, begetting terrible transformation and great calamity in the process. He dishonored the name of the fallen. Ying Sing, the accomplice, arrogant and oblivious, used the flesh of the Abundance Emanator to assist Imbibitor Lunae in his evil. He fell, becoming an immortal abomination. As for Jing Liu, the sinner, She succumbed to Mara, slaughtered her people, and abandoned her oath. Now it is time we pay for what we have done. Dan Heng, you can never escape the shadow of Imbibitor Lunae. He is your origin, and his sins will accompany you in your path forward until you meet your eventual doom. Blade, what a fitting name. In the remainder of your infinite life, you will experience only murder and your own death, all the while pleading for a place to rest. This is the only way you are able to relinquish Ying Sing's regrets. And I will face the punishment of the Alliance and suffer an eternal punishment before paying an even worse price. That is the only way to keep the memory of the pain of the past from fading away. High Cloud Quintet, it is time to say goodbye. A wineless gathering, accompanied by only sadness and bitterness. What a depressing reunion. Jing Yuan, is it not time you sent me to the Shuling?
The laws of the Alliance cannot be subject to change. Unfortunately, your next stop will be the Yuche. I reported everything to the Marshal, and the Seer strategist just so happened to take an interest in the case. They set up a Deca-like reflection barrier in hopes of meeting the two of you beforehand.
Jing Yuan, you haven't changed at all. Always trying to destroy the plans of others. But in the end, whether it be you, me, the Cloud Knights, or the generals of the Rainbow Arbiter, we are all just pawns in a game of the gods. I am sick and tired of treading on a predetermined path. No matter, I will deviate if you insist. But this does not change how things will end. Ultimately, I will stand on the side of victory.
Then I shall see this gamble through.
Wait. Jingliu, before you leave, you still owe me my due.
I have tried. Besides inflicting more wounds on your body, there is nothing else I can do for you. The immortality that you possess is not something that can be dealt with so easily. I am sure Destiny's Slave already told you that the swords of mortals are incapable of killing someone with the flesh of an Emanator.
He did. But you still owe me the attempt.
I told you when I taught you the way of the sword. I am uninterested in drawing my blade against someone who does not long for life, who wants only to be slaughtered.
You will only draw against an opponent. Jingliu, allow me to repay you for your teachings.
Savor the moment. I will deliver you a brief moment of death. We were here once, 700 years ago. Laughing, sparring, and thinking about the future. Their faces still linger before my eyes, like a bygone dream. I thought those joyful days would flow indefinitely before us, like a Ciencio lifetime. Yet, dreams will eventually fade like clouds from the sky.
A familiar feeling. Almost as if we've returned to my first sword lesson. You used the sword Insing crafted, and pierced, sliced, and impaled me time and time again. The swordplay used to slay our enemies of old is still engraved on this despicable shell. All I can do is watch my flesh become severed, healed, and restored. It's as if they're saying, why? Why did you and Imbibitor Lunae commit such an unforgivable sin? I know that you have no interest in my answer. Which is why I asked the question as you looked me straight in the eye. I've asked myself that same question infinite times, but was never able to find the answer. Why? Why is it that only the abominations can return time and time again? Why does someone like her have to be buried, burned to ash, and eventually forgotten? Why? In the end, you unleashed the final piercing blow and left both me and the sword in the withered grave. The miraculous thing is that in my brief moment of death, all the pain went away. Like when we drank to drown our sorrows.
Imbibitor Lunae, what do you plan on doing next?
Once this gathering ends, I will return to the Express to continue my journey.
The Express won't be able to carry you forever. Your friends all have burdens of their own, just as we did back then. I did think about giving up on revenge and letting go of everything when I fled the Luofu years ago. However, as time passed, it became more and more clear. It was like an old friend that accompanied me every passing day, always nagging in my ear. The memories of what I did when I was Mara struck are deeply rooted. Since I am unable to rid myself of them, I decided to face them head on in the end. Maybe when I witness the fall of the abundance, you and Ying Sing will find true release. Goodbye, Imbibitor Lunae.
She's gone. All this must have seemed like a silly performance to someone newly reborn. But I am unable to prevent my old friends from taking sides against one another. Who you are is a question that only you can find the answer to. Even if the Preceptor's interference denied you a true rebirth. Yes. It has been a long day for you, Dan Heng.
Dan Heng, the General wants me to forget about everything I saw today. I understand. These disputes are far too complicated for me right now. Swordplay is a lot simpler. I have some close friends of my own in the Cloud Knights. Will we fall out the way you guys did? Goodbye for now, Dan Heng. I hope the next time we meet, it'll be under happier circumstances.
The moon shines on the truth.
She couldn't do it with her sword either. She still couldn't do it. We have no choice but to continue the pursuit. This is the price the two of us must pay.
I will see it through.
Elio's script still requires you to stay alive. For now. I don't mind prolonging my vengeance. It might be more interesting that way.
All right. Lady Bailu, it's getting late. You need to go home now.
Everything's so fuzzy. Did I do something bad?
No need to feel bad, Lady Bailu. You were in a dream world. None of it was your fault.
But I made everyone chase after me for so long. I shouldn't have done that.
It's only natural to want to escape when strict rules are being forced on you. I know there are a lot of grown-ups trying to control you, telling you what you can and can't do. They're the ones to blame.
I was ready to apologize to everyone, but now you made me forget what I wanted to say.
Apologize for what? You know, you and me have a lot in common. I'm almost a grown-up now, but I still miss my childhood days and running about barefoot. My big brother used to boss me around. He'd give me chores, constantly telling me to grow up, that kind of thing. Then one day, I decided to rebel. I ran away to prove that I could get by without my family, and eventually settled on the Xianzhou. Whether it's a dragon lady like you, or an ordinary person like me, I feel like many people's lives follow a similar trajectory. One day, you'll have the strength to leave your current situation and move on to the next phase. In the meantime, I suggest you try and cherish the good, rather than apologize for the bad.
All right. I don't want everyone to feel too sorry for me. Hey, did you ever think about joining the Alchemy Commission as a psychotherapist?
Jeez, and there I was, pouring my heart out. Now I feel like this kid's lived longer than I have.
Can we not linger around here too long? This place is really spooky. Maybe we can chat somewhere else.
Truth be told, Luxie didn't seem as evil as the other Heliobi we've seen.
They sure made us run, though. If I ever have to run like that again on the job, I'm filing for workers' comp.
Heliobi don't really fall under good or evil. They just act according to their desires and emotions. I hope the others will be just as easy to subdue. I should go surrender myself to those two medics. They were looking so hard to find me.
Wait!
Huh? What is it?
We're going to make a post about this paranormal incident online to attract more followers. It'll help us get more intel.
Oh, I get it. You can't just tell the public that the Dragon Lady was possessed by a Heliobus, right? So, you won't mention my name, right? And we'll make up a headline?
That's right! We want to report this incident like it's a paranormal phenomenon. The more exaggerated, the better. And then announce that it was solved by our ghost hunting squad. Then we add on a few photos and videos. It'll be sure to get lots of views.
That's great and all, but I'm not good at making stuff up on the spot.
I heard that you helped Mr. Cian write stories before. You must be an expert wordsmith. It's all a team effort. Come on, help me think of something. Sounds good. Let's have a think about it. I say that's a good title. What does everyone think? Alrighty then, it's decided. You should go back soon, Lady Bailu. Those two medics have had a rough day.
Okay, I'm going back now. Thanks for the rescue.
Case closed. I never knew catching Heliobi would require so much work.
We're not done yet. Madame Hanya said that once we've subdued a Heliobus, we should return to Fixtural Garden and lock them inside the evil binding matrix's suppression towers.
to catch Heliobi on the run. The Ten Lords Commission has
There's always this. That's it?
It's over. Now I can finally get some rest.
But there are still lots of Heliobi roaming around out there. Oh, we can't rest for too long.
I couldn't agree more. I'd rather focus on resting first. I need to wait for my heart rate to recover before I go chasing another Heliobus.
Is there anything interesting here? I doubt it.
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Timely treatment.
Time to twirl!
That's all you got?
Let's begin.
Time for a shot. Nap time.
That paradise may be
Savor it for me.
You know nothing of the weight behind this. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice.
You impede me. Your end approaches.
Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Thanks, pal. Nice like a good brew. Full, my friends. Indulge yourselves!
Unnecessary.
That'll take more than medicine. Nap time.
Failed to send you. You impede me.
That won't stop.
That'll take more than medicine.
Timely treatment.
Step up, let's see ya.
Just in time. Just a little something. Think nothing of it.
Thanks, pal.
You know nothing of the weight. Survive or be destroyed. There is no other choice. Time for some hardship.
A blade knows no mercy. That paradise may be unreachable. Savor it for me. necessary.
That won't stop me.
I will dispatch you.